It's Monday morning. It is almost. I think this is the last week of September for us. And or coming to the last week of September, being next week. This is the last full week of September, and today's a great green day for me. And the market's been hot, right? We saw this nice move, 7 a.m. Actually, when I woke up at 7 a.m., I saw this squeeze happen all the way from $4 all the way up to what, 9, nearly 9. On this double pullback on the 1 minute chart, I got a nice entry down up here, a squeeze up to 10, and I believe that was where I took my exit. This is on AGRI. I bought it at 837. I sold at 915. Almost $1 a share on about 80 shares, I believe. 65 shares. On about 65 shares, and is that the average price? No, average price is right here. 965 is where I exited, not there. Okay, yeah, so over $1 a share. I was a little confused because I'd made about $80. Second trade, took a loss. Third trade, again, took a loss on AGRI. I tried to time this. I actually did get this, but I tried to time it over here for the second candle. It fell. It rejected, and then I got out as I got closer to my stop. In hindsight, I could have held through it, but it seemed a little risky to hold through because the lows were the same, right? I should have held through. However, I thought it would break the bottom, and if it broke the bottom, I didn't know where it would go to resistance or whether it would just continue falling. So I got out. Rather than taking a bigger loss on it. It was about $20. It was manageable. It was fine. Third trade up around here. I got in for the break of the high. It happened, but false broke and it sold off on me, right? End up losing money there. Again, 84, sold at 1021 as it came down. Right around here. I took one more trade on AGRI at 8, I believe. Ended up losing a little more on a dip trade, but it was with 30 shares. It was really small size, so it wasn't a big deal. It was like $10. So at this point, I was about $10 of profit, and I realized I'd pretty much blown the whole one trade rule and done really poorly with my trades today because I took 3 losses, and all of them brought me from a really nice, almost 20% gain on the day to a 2%? Not even. About 2% gain on the day, which is in hindsight great, but considering I try to look at commissions into this, with 4 or 5 trades that would have netted me at a negative number, right? JFBR, this is one I've seen do really well before, and I took an impulse trade on this off of just FOMO and considering the market was hot, right? It's coming up at 7:30. I figured that maybe there was some news coming on it, or coming up on the stock. It squeezed up, all the way up to, I believe, from $5 all the way to $6, so up $1, right? And as it was about to make this, as it dipped down here, I bought in. I tried to get filled for up here. I got filled up here, and it sold off. It did make this high, I believe, but here's basically what it looked like. It came up and it sold right back down. This is what hold on. This is a 15, why is it on the 15-minute chart? It's a little odd. This is a 5-minute chart. Here's a 15-second chart. And this is where I bought it. And I tried to get in here. I got in. It went up to 200 and it sold instantly. Just flashed down. So I got out down here. And it ended up losing me about $70-80. So I ended up red on the day. At this point, I realized that something was probably, I know that something is emotionally bothering me, and coming into the market with that, it just isn't healthy, right? I knew it was a problem, so I took a couple minutes, got out of the headspace where I was feeling emotionally drawn towards some personal issues, and took a few deep breaths. I was looking at this stock early on in the day when I saw, I believe I was looking at it from yesterday's after hours scans from Friday, and I had left this on the chart because it looked interesting and it was above VWAP, right? Around, or I don't know if I had it or not. I probably, it might have been on it. I'm not too sure. But when I opened up today's scans, it looked good. It made a high of 425, and I knew that if it curled up, it would make a high. It would break the high, considering our volatility today. So I tried to buy it on this 2-candle pullback. Again, I've been trying to find my edge in the market, and it seems like on these 2-candle pullbacks, the new candle to make a new high is where I do significantly the best. I also noticed that sometimes I'll get FOMO and not fill over here and then buy a little higher, or I'll buy a little earlier and end up losing money on the trade because it doesn't resolve and it ends up going the opposite way. Now this ended up going the right way. I did buy after it broke this level. However, when I tried to fill over here, it did not fill me. I ended up filling at 510, which is really, really high, considering that's around here. But even then, I got a really nice squeeze all the way up to 621, where I took profit up around here. I thought at this point I was extended, it might fall. It ended up going up to 760 and then reversing back down, which is completely fine. I mean, you don't always get the top and bottom of moves, but it did phenomenal. It did more than I expected it to do, and honestly, that is amazing. This is where I took, no, not there. Let's see the 15-second chart. Let me zoom into this. So at this point, we had seen this pullback happen. This is the first, second, third, and I watched it go up. It went to 640. It did a little reversal here. At that point, I took profit, and it ended up going higher. I didn't expect it to, but it did. Ended up going 3 candles higher. But it looked extended, right? And it is extended. Anyways, this ended up doing really well afterwards. We did see QLGN do really well as well. We saw this go all the way up to 13. This was on my after hours scan. STEC was one I was looking at. It did go up a little. It went up to 8 and then reversed back down. And then I thought I was looking for a curl back up. It didn't happen, so I didn't buy it. ARBB, similar thing. Did well at pre-market, after hours and coming into 4 a.m. It was holding up. It ended up going up to 10 and then sold right back down. So I didn't get into it, too choppy. Again, on the open, it looks like it did go up, but I didn't trade it. I got out after 8. But anyways, that's my market recap for today. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow for my daily recap on the day. The market's been hot. It's been nice. I haven't actually showed my P&L right here. $61 of profit, which is pretty good because I made about $1 a share on my last trade. I ended up selling twice, as in I bought at $4.61. I made over $2 actually, or about $2. I sold at $1, about half my shares, and then at about $2, I sold another half of my shares. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in.